I'm more than excited. I haven't played. The last concert I did was in Italy in December 2019. So it's been a very. I mean, I've played a lot of music, and I was actually involved in an opera in Paris, but actually interacting and communicating with people. This is. I feel privileged to be
And
here.
you played here when it was the
Yeah,
GMEX.
yeah, I've played here. Yeah, I've had some mad nights. Over the years. Yeah,
It's
so
going
it's
to
it.
be very different though because we're not past Freedom Day yet.
Well, we were at Wembley, and we have been for a long time. But that's
In terms
uh,
of the football.
well, as far it's where it's populism, isn't it? And music doesn't seem to have featured very strongly in populist politics.
Why do
So
you think that
I
is?
don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because the language we use and the kind of the atmosphere that music creates was kind of complicated and contradictory in many ways. Um, I just feel well. I mean, for me, it was the writing was on the wall when pubs opened before schools. Really, in the sense of that populist route to returning to normal. And it's just the vibrations that decisions like that and the implications of that long term that I question. I understand it's incredibly complicated to manage a society in at a time like this. I mean, I wouldn't want to be doing it.
No.
And
And
I
I
think
think
there's
all of us,
if
none
it
of
were,
us would want the job. We'd have all made huge mistakes. But
of course, and it's not a criticism. It's just an observation. It just feels weird that last night there were 60,000 people plus in Wembley, and this is like this. I'm happy with this. This is very civilized. But it's so incongruous. If you look at the two, I always thought it would be kind of quite funny to play a song and then film the audience reaction, and then play the same song and juxtapose it with a, you know a beer garden in wherever, and the reaction when a goal's scored. The sort of the level of dispersion of whatever it is that we're trying to avoid. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
kind
and I'm just like, as much as you say that you're happy with this,
Yeah.
and I mean, I know in reality that you'll have been all right through lockdown and you've been busy,
Very busy. Yeah.
but
Very busy.
huge amounts of people in your industry.
Oh yeah, as far as the bigger infrastructure of the music business and entertainment, even bigger umbrella. Yeah, it's been devastating, and the problem with this hiatus is that a lot of people have kind of sort of have just decided that they either can't sustain their lifestyle by remaining in this industry, or they've just given up on it and changed. Transform. I don't know. It's really important that we're getting back to it, and I'm honestly I'm happy just playing just anything really. I mean, it's kind of it is going to be weird because everything I've done in the last year or so has been played pretty much in the round with musicians just either being filmed or just playing for the love of playing together. But well, I think we've all become quite introverted in this period, and I'd like to think that the music has kind of sort of has been thought about in a different way. I think musicians kind of maybe have had to look to what is the essence of my musical life, and I think let's hope now that we're getting the opportunity to sort of face an audience again that translates that, because music is a wonderful kind of ephemeral mirror of how we all feel.
Can I just ask you about Englishness? I've heard you
can.
talking about Englishness and national pride and that kind of stuff before. And you like football as well, right?
I do. Yeah.
When stuff happens, as has happened in the last 24 hours, does it make you question it?
Well, in context of this, honestly, I feel it's connected to populist politics. It's like, why is it okay for 60,000 people to go to Wembley? And let's face it, it's not just 60,000. It's like the whole country was not socially distancing yesterday, and I wasn't. Nobody was. I mean, it's you get carried away by the spirit and that feeling that something that unites everyone gives you, and I understand that, but there's been such an absence of the arts in general during this period, and honestly, do we really feel that we've now reached the point of no return where we're not going to go back into some kind of lockdown? I don't think so. I think it's impossible to say that. It's so important to keep the arts vibrant, and it cannot be denied that the Conservatives have less empathy than maybe they should have for the arts. It doesn't seem to be as important. Look at what's happening in schools. Look at the way our art classes, music classes are being sidelined for more digital based education. And I understand we have to move forward, we have to progress, but these are things which are kind of essential to the cognitive development of young people, and their social practices, they engage people, playing live instruments. Kids learning how to play instruments is such a good thing for their development. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, really. It's so important, and yet it is not treated as importantly as other things, and unfortunately, when we have something as big as the football over the last month, you feel it even more acutely. You just feel like, well, they're prepared to make those sacrifices because this gives them that feel good populist kind of thing, and then that evaporates as well. But I don't know. I don't know how to express how I feel in any other way. I want to be positive because this is a positive thing, and it's amazing to be back on a stage.
And it's that, because I think you've talked.
I just can't help but see the vibrations that the making that decision early on to like open pubs before schools is, in the long term, the implications of that are so massive, and in the end, what good has it done us, really?
And you say that, I mean, your daughter is older than being at school. This isn't the viewpoint of someone who's got a kid at school, and therefore that's your perspective. You just see the bigger picture.
Yeah, well, I mean, my kid was at school, and my point is certain things are more important than others, and sometimes I think the lines are blurred, no pun intended, between the those things, and I think we just need to be a bit more defined. The arts are important. They're essential to our mental health, to our spiritual health, and you know, we need to treat them as seriously as we do sport. And we don't in this country, not at the moment.
That's how it feels.
If not how it feels, that's how it is. You ask any musician, any actor, any artist, they'll tell you that.
Anything else that you want to say?
I
mean, I'd love to talk to you for hours, but I was getting that sign behind you. So
there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but you know, I know the implications of saying certain things. You know, so I mean, have I conveyed how I feel? Do you think? Can you cut that into something which will work as sound bites and make some kind of sort of, or not? I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I get the impression you choose your words very carefully.
Well, I try to, because I have in the past not chosen my words carefully, and you know, I mean, the one decision I made, which I'm grateful for my own sort of sanity, is I've never been on social media, so I never read what anyone thinks about me. But you know,
but yeah,
I think like, you know, post the football, that's going to be the arena where all the horrible negative things are said, you know. And what happened last night was, it was difficult to watch. It's like, you know, it's like they're essentially teenagers, some of them, and they're so vulnerable and sensitive. And you know, we forget about that when we put them up there. They did incredibly well. They're all heroes, but you know. And it is that thing. It's a brutal thing. We are very, very, very good in this country of building people up and then knocking them down. It's just something that seems to be in our nature. Maybe it's to do with the weather. On a sunny day, we all feel fantastic, and then the gloom comes back, and you know, everyone's bitter and angry. I don't know. It's been quite a from this massive high to just. Yeah, I mean, well. And not just about the result. I just mean about the situation and the abuse online and the way that we treat young black footballers. I mean, I don't do that sort of thing. So I'm speaking from a different perspective. I don't feel like it's a healthy forum really in the long term. I want to see people doing things and looking each other in the eye. If you want to say something to someone, say it to their face, or don't say it at all. Thank you. Really nice to meet you. No. Thank you very much. My pleasure.